Hi guys, Blake here today with Lilley's Landing Resort and Marina, Branson, Missouri. Beautiful Lake Taneycomo. Much different scene today. We've got 29 degrees, big giant snowflakes. It just started snowing about an hour ago, and it's already covering the bluff side and making everything look all pretty. And today's feeling like a, oh, I thought I lost spot lock. I kind of did. Huh. That's weird. My spot lock stopped spinning the prop there. Anyway, so I'm feeling like today's a big trout kind of day. And so for the one cast today, we are going to throw the 110+1 Signature Series. I'm going to start off with the French Pearl. Nice overcast, cloudy day. And today I'm going to break the video down in segments. I'm going to kind of hit some of my favorite spots that I like to work these in. They did have 4 units running. They were supposed to keep running the 4 units. It's only about 9:40 in the morning. They were supposed to run 4 units until noon. I don't know what they've cut it back to. It almost seems like they've cut it back to at least 3 units now. Maybe even 2. But we are gonna work some of my favorite sections on the lake for trying to catch a big one. So I'm gonna let the boat get going. This first spot we're in, I am directly across from the first house that is below the golf course. This is kind of what we call brown hole. It's just a little bit above the brown house down there. And I'm gonna keep the boat 30-40 foot off the bank over here. Try to kind of drift with the current as much as I can. We're gonna throw real tight into that bank. And nothing on the first cast. So this 110+1 blank has the ability to dive about 7 to 9 foot. We've got these weighted to suspend. So that when you stop it, it kind of stays in place. And, you know, when it's snowing, sometimes I prefer to work this jerkbait standing up. I like to be able to get that nice downward motion. But I'm just going to kind of set forward in my chair today and try to avoid hitting my rod tip on the boat. I know I've talked about this before, but this is a method where you use slack in your line and you pop the slack. It causes the jerkbait to walk side to side, and that action is what gets those big trout and aggressive trout going. probably hear some slapping of the rod butt on my jacket today. I do prefer to use these when the water's running between the 2 and 4 units. There's no particular cadence. You just want to make sure you're popping that line and keeping kind of a continuous motion. The bigger and more aggressive trout like that bait kind of getting away from them. I don't have time to cover all the spots that I like to do this in, but definitely cover a few of them today. And I don't necessarily always work it all the way back to the boat. I like to get that first section on the bank about 15 to 20 feet or so off the bank. That's usually where the strikes come from. I have had them follow it all the way back to the boat and hit it before. So, but generally, strikes come in that first 20 foot off the bank. It's kind of hard to see that white jerkbait traveling through the snow. And my eyelets are gonna freeze today. When you're working the bluffs, generally the current will slowly pull you in, so you've got to periodically move your boat back out to position. Like I said, about 30 to 40 foot away, whatever allows you to cast back to the bank. And then I kind of give the boat a second to get drifting again. Oh, and I hung one in a tree. And this one is so high up in the tree that there's no getting that back unless it comes flying out of the tree here. Oh, come on, baby. I've got 8-pound test on here, so it makes it a little harder to break. Come on. There it goes. There is one Signature Series donation. I'm going to turn the camera off. I've got quite a few spots I want to cover today, so I don't want to run the video time if I don't have to. Generally, I tie on a size 12 snap swivel when I'm using these, but I might just have to tie this one straight to the front of the bait. I don't know that I brought any snap swivels with me today. So I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I've got the Green Machine Signature Series here, 110. And we're gonna keep going. We're just gonna go right to the beginning of the Narrows. I'm gonna cut the video off again and scoot down to the next spot. Looks like Steve Dickey's getting ready to go past me. He's got a trip. Alright. Last cast. Oh. Really? Last cast for this spot. Alright, I'll be back with you again when I get to the next one. Alright, so we are just now below Eagle Island, South Bank. Get all the ice out of my eyelets here. Okay. The fish. We've definitely caught some big fish along this bank here. Just right below here is where the state record was caught. I remember Levi and I were doing we went out fishing and also did the one cast during a real rainy day. And it was about right in here on the 110 that he hooked into a real big rainbow. And you know, I'll say that when the water's running heavy, just about any bank is a good place to... Ooh, there's a hit. Come back and get it. Just about any of these banks are a good place to try. I definitely would have preferred if they had left the 4 units running. 2 reasons. It was what they had already been running, so the fish were kind of already used to it. And sometimes that little bit after they drop the water out, the fish will kind of shut down for a second. And like I said, I've got to kind of pick and choose my spots today. Both this bank and the rock bank and bluff below Fall Creek would be great places, but I'm just going with my gut feeling and thinking it's going to be this side. And occasionally that crazy action with the current will cause your jerkbait to get a little tangled up. Let go. All in around these docks. Think of multiple double-digit fish that have been caught on the 110 in between these docks here. All kinds of stuff is freezing up on my reel. don't be afraid to put a cast 10 or 15 feet in front of a dock and get it down deep to work underneath the dock either. Alright, we've made it to Scooter's dock. We're going to turn the camera back off and find our way down to Short Creek. Alright. Trying to point the camera down at an angle so it doesn't pick up too much snow. And so Short Creek is directly behind me. We're over here on the bluff now. All these spots I'm going over today are all pretty regular spots for me to try these at. And a lot of the time this is a kind of a trophy hunting deal, so sometimes you just don't find them. When that 3 and 4 units is running, it really helps give that jerk bait some extra motion. You don't have to quite work as hard to get that bait to make big strides in the water. So, like I said, I would have preferred if they had kept running the 4 units for this, but certainly no question that I've caught them in this much water and less on this big jerk bait as well. Coming up on where this real big island meets the bluff. It's gonna get a little shallower, but still enough water to throw this for sure. The only other real thing to do here, other than try all the spots, is to change up the colors. Some days they'll kind of just go after the motion of the thing because of how it's getting away from them, and some days the color matters. Talked to a couple of our guests who said that 2 days ago down on Cooper Creek Flat they were throwing a 110+1 that was made by Megabass, which are the original creators of the 110. He said he was using the Table Rock Shad color, and they caught a couple browns down there. That snow is starting to melt through my jeans a little bit here. Alright, so we're starting to work our way along the side of the island. Trout Hollow Lodge is just right down there, and I actually haven't done it this year yet, but this entire island side here is all a bunch of structure that has fell down in the water. And brown trout specifically, rainbows do too, but the brown trout really like that wooden structure. They like to hide in it and ambush their prey. And so this is a riskier bank. You're probably going to get hung up on a few of those logs that are down there, but it can totally be worth it. When I first started learning to throw jerk baits for trout out here, this was one of the banks I started on, and one of the first ones I had success on, catching some brown trout on a jerk. Problem you'll have with this area is you're going to do a lot more casting because of the way the water is eddied. So you can either cast downstream and work it until the bait gets past you this way, or you can use your trolling motor to slow the boat down and kind of stay the same speed as the eddy. I'm trying to cover a little more ground, so I'm gonna let the boat drift with the current and just reel it in whenever the bait gets too far that way. Ooh, I'm really hungry. Oh. Well, I had that one strike so far, but fish are definitely not wanting to play today. Well, we're gonna shut the video off and I might go try one more spot. Okay guys, so I kept working down this bank along the island side, and it was actually kind of a small hit. He didn't slam it, but I think I've got a big rainbow on. Yep, that's a big fish. Oh my gosh. This is a really big rainbow. And he is powerhousing me. Whew. Oh. There he is, in the net. Oh my goodness. Woo. Whew. Okay, take my gloves off. Oh. Yeah. This is a tank of a rainbow. He's not quite as long, but man is he big. Come here. Come here. I wish I would have left the camera running. It wasn't very long after I turned it off. Really, really aggressive rainbow. Whew. Okay, this fish does not want to cooperate. Come here. It's too big to get my hand around. Look at this size of that rainbow. Whew. Giant. Giant, giant. About 23 inches long. Probably every bit of 6 pounds. Beautiful. Let him go. Wow. Powerful fish. Well, guys, I wish I'd have just left the camera running, but I didn't want to keep running the minutes down. Whew. I got my adrenaline going. Well, I might keep fishing this bluff. I'll turn the camera back on here in a second. Alright. I'm back. Got everything situated, and I did plan on going down to the Cooper Creek Flat and trying down there. We've had, well, I got those reports of those few browns from yesterday from some guys that were renting a boat. And last weekend, the few little private tournaments that went on, those guys found some browns down there. But I just noticed it's a pretty wet snow today, and the camera gear is getting starting to drip some water. I don't want to ruin the gear today. So we'll just finish out in this little stretch along the island. There's obviously at least one big fish. There was another one, unless it was a tree limb. That felt like a fish though. Sometimes if they hit the bait and they don't feel the hooks, they'll come back for it. So don't be afraid to keep that bait moving just like that. I don't know if this is the same fish that came back for it. I'm gonna go ahead and spot lock so we don't lose any ground. Don't forget to bring pliers when you're working a jerk bait. This little guy just goes to show you how aggressive these trout really can be. And how annoying taking a jerk bait out of a net can be, especially a net that is frozen. Look at how pretty that rainbow is, but he ain't but a few inches longer than the jerkbait itself. Alright, I'll come off a spot lock. My camera's telling me it's just about dead. All my gear is freezing. Well, as it would seem, the rainbows are liking the green machine color today. We are directly across from that old generator on the island here, or along the bluff, or not the bluff, but the I think this is C of O's property, College of the Ozarks. I believe that bank belongs to them, if I'm not mistaken. That old generator over there is probably something that used to pump water to the field up there. Well, you know, my arm was getting wore out from doing all that jerking with no fish, but man, once you get that adrenaline pumping, it's like you get a whole new fresh wind. Well, like you said, it's a trophy hunting deal. I went almost 40 minutes earlier, but the first fish that I tied into was a big, beautiful rainbow trout. But the payoff is totally worth it if you're willing to put the time in and the effort. Working a bait like this is definitely a little bit of a workout on the arm and shoulders. I think we're going to go ahead and call it a day. We appreciate you guys watching. Like and share us on Facebook, and we'll get out and do it again tomorrow. Thanks, guys.